Hi everyone, this is Michael with the general love reading for Capricorn Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for the of May to the middle of June. Welcome to the very first series of love readings, the heart of the matter on this channel. Thank you so much to all of you who have been supporting me from the very beginning. It's amazing to see how quickly that this channel has grown, and I actually wanted to kind of as a way of expressing my gratitude to all of you, I wanted to actually announce that I'm going to start doing giveaways on this channel after reaching certain subscriber counts. So once we reach 10,000 subscribers, I'm going to be offering the first giveaway for a free distance Reiki session or a free tarot reading. It will be the winner's choice. And you can follow me on my social media, on my Facebook and Instagram, to make sure you will catch the announcement when we hit that 10K. And I also post blog posts and Instagram spreads as well, so you can to get those if you want more divination. And it's a nice way to make sure that you're getting all the updates. I do post other things as well from time to time. So it's a good way to stay connected. And I'm just again so grateful. So thank you again to all of you who have been supporting this channel. And make sure to keep hitting like, subscribe. It really just helps it grow. It shows YouTube that people really care about this channel, they care about this content, and it's so amazing to be a part of this growing tarot community on YouTube. So thank you so much for making that possible. Before we begin, I do like to disclaim that these are general readings, meaning that not all of the messages that come forward in this reading are going to be meant for you. Some of these messages might be for someone else or someone else in your life, so maybe you're meant to share this message or the wisdom or guidance. The messages that come through for the other person might actually be your own energy or vice versa. If you are watching for someone who has a Capricorn placement, you're very likely going to show up as the other person in this reading. I think that is it. Just don't be too hung up on the gender of the cards either. And again, these are general readings. If I'm not picking up on your energy, it might not hurt to also take a look at the general reading or to look at your other placements as well. And there's just a ton of readers on YouTube, so if none of this is resonating, you're more than welcome to check out another wonderful reader on YouTube. I think that is everything. I'm going to start by setting an intention here and kind of tuning in really quickly. Alright, let's see what comes up. What are the messages for love for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for May and June? What are the messages for Capricorn regarding love for May to June? Okay. Some of you have been having some sleeping problems. There's been a lot of anxiety, a lot of emotional disturbance, maybe some dysregulated mood. I know Capricorn has really been going through it in general, so I'm not too surprised to see that this is showing up in the relationship area for you as well. I do, however, see that you are kind of coming out of this. I almost get the sense that the worst is over. It's almost like it feels very mental, to be honest. The situation between you and this other person, it feels very much like a mental blockage, and there's a lot of holding back because of fear and anxiety, and that seems to be between both of you, actually. It's kind of where things are starting out in this time period. I do have for your fears, interestingly enough, we have the Six of Cups. It seems like there is something involving childhood that's coming up for you. There is this sense of childhood wounds that are really affecting the relationship or the person you're interested in. There's some sort of call to work with old wounds and old trauma. That is what I'm getting with this card. You could also be hoping that someone comes back to you, that someone from the past, someone potentially even from earlier on in your life, several years ago, or even further. It almost seems like you're trying to connect with that or send out that that telepathic message or send out that wish to the universe to reconnect with someone. It does feel like you really want to reconnect, but you're not sure if it's actually going to happen. It seems like you're doubting this. Some of you might actually need to be the ones who connect to this person, who reach out, and it seems like you're very afraid to do so. So that is kind of an energy I'm picking up for you. As for the person you're dealing with, their fears and worries, they have the Empress in reverse. I actually get the sense that this person has low self-esteem or low confidence. There's something about not feeling good enough that I'm picking up on their energy. They could be a Taurus. They could also be dealing with a Taurus or someone who wounded them from the past, who had a lot of Taurus placements. But overall, I'm getting this sense that things just aren't feeling stable. Things, they're worried about a lot of things and a lot of practical day-to-day things. But it does also seem like that is affecting them in their relationships. It seems like, to be honest, I'm actually getting the sense that there might be some sort of sexual dysfunction that they're dealing with as well, because the Empress is a very sensual card, and with all of this anxiety, they just might not have the same libido. That could be something that is affected. And this is not going to apply to a lot of you, but there is also this fear of fertility or being infertile. That's actually something that's coming up right now. And you are thinking about children, some of you yourself, with the Six of Cups. So that actually makes sense. There does seem to be some sort of mirror here. For those of you who have been thinking about children or just thinking about the future in general with someone, I feel like you're both thinking about it, but you're both very worried. And you're trying to come out of this worry. You're trying to figure out what is real. And it seems like for this person, there's definitely this loss of stability, or they're fearing this loss of stability. Things might be a bit shaky at work for them as well. They're not very open. That's the overall energy I'm getting for them. I have this Queen of Swords here for you, and this is kind of the furthest point from your partner. This is kind of where you are diametrically opposed. I feel like you're being very you're being very poker faced with things right now, and I actually think that's holding you back. Some of you could also be dealing with an air sign. This could be a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or just someone who is very analytical, who's very rational, almost head over heart. A lot of the time they're very fair, but they can also be very direct, very cutting with their words, and what they say what they mean. I'm almost getting the sense, however, this is more your energy. This isn't someone in your life. It seems like you're just coming off as very strong, and it's almost intimidating to this person. I'm actually getting this Ace of Wands as well, and it's really interesting that I was mentioning sexual dysfunction before, because the Ace of Wands in reverse can actually indicate sexual dysfunction as well, or some sort of impotence. And it just feels like sexually this person is not in the mood. I have to be honest, and it's not you. I think you're trying to be cool about it. You're trying not to be too affected by this person's apparent lack of interest. I honestly don't feel like it's you. It's something they're going through. They're not feeling very vulnerable or very willing to be vulnerable with you right now. And there is sort of this just cut off from emotion. I actually am, for some reason, getting with this Empress in reverse card that some of you are actually dealing with someone who is partnered already, and there is this fear about the relationship here. It's almost like they're the Emperor, and they're afraid of losing this Empress. Or it could just be you. It could be that they're afraid of losing you if you are in a relationship with this person. But that's interesting. As for your hopes, and wishes for this situation, I do have this Knight of Swords. And I feel like you just want to move forward. You want things to move forward already. There's a very big need for you to communicate, to be honest, Capricorn, because we do have a lot of swords here. We have the Six of Cups, which tells me that you're going to have to be helping reconnect this person to something from their childhood, and that's actually going to help you heal something from your childhood as well. But definitely make sure that you're doing your own inner child work, that you're tending to your own wounds first before acting, because there is kind of this, I'm almost afraid you're going to be charging into something that you shouldn't be charging into quite yet. Don't go into something without a plan. Don't just be rushing into things right now. I think it's really important with all of these swords that you are in a mentally clear place before you proceed. And to be honest, I have the Moon card for them, and things are very... I think they're still trying to figure things out. I feel like there is definitely a desire to go deeper. I will be honest, when this card is showing up as kind of a hope or a desire, there is this desire to go really deep with you and to really reconnect. And maybe that's almost something you're afraid of. I think this person is trying to connect with you in a way that actually would scare you, and that's causing a lot of blockages in this relationship or in this dynamic from even coming into play in the first place if you're not with this person. So definitely do some sort of healing work at the beginning of this cycle, towards the end of May, for the second half of May, because I really do feel like by June, this person is going to be... they're really going to be wanting to go deep with you. They could also be pining after... there might be a Pisces for them, to be honest. This could be a Pisces or someone who has a lot of Pisces in their chart. That might be someone who they have their eye on as well. But I'm really getting more the sense that they just want something very deep. They want something very... It's almost like they want something that's going to be there for them in the dark times, in the hard moments. They want to be emotionally connected even when things are really hard and heavy. And it's actually not... I think they want to go very slow with things. They want to ease themselves into something. And I almost see that you're trying to charge into something, Capricorn. So that is something to be mindful of. And as kind of the point of coming together, we do have this Seven of Wands. And there is this sense of a lot of opposition towards this dynamic. I gotta be honest, especially kind of coming towards the end of the first part of June, towards the end of this cycle. I do feel like there's going to be a lot of energy coming your way. And this actually could be presenting itself as multiple romantic partners, or romantic opportunities. And it's almost like you have to fight them off because there's so many people coming towards you. But I also get the sense that if you are involved with someone or interested with someone, there's going to be a lot of opposition to whatever this is, especially if there is some sort of marriage or some sort of family unit that is going to be threatened with this Empress card. I do feel like it does seem like there's just a lot of things that this person is dealing with, and it seems like for you it's much more internal. I don't feel like it's a physical blockage. I don't feel like it's a circumstantial thing that is preventing you from going forward with someone. It actually feels more like there are things you need to get clarity on. There are childhood wounds that you still need to heal before you are ready for this relationship or ready to move into this next level of intimacy, or to kind of resolve whatever blockage you're encountering in your relationship. I almost feel like right now this person kind of wants to be a bit mysterious. I don't think they're even really sure what they want, and that's kind of why this moon is coming up. They're trying to weigh things out, and I think they see that you're very sure about things, but I don't know if they're very sure, just in regards to how everything is playing out in their own life, how this is going to fit. I am going to be pulling some animal cards now, just to kind of get a better scope of the situation here. Interesting. Yeah, so this honestly makes a bit of sense. You are coming off as the octopus, Capricorn, which does tell me that you're very perceptive with this person or with people in general. You're very much a good read, especially right now. I do get the sense, however, that this person might feel a bit invaded on. Octopus can be a bit too prying, and they can lack boundaries. And I do feel like that might be something that is actually kind of holding them back. Even though they do want to be close with you, they do want to have this very deep emotional connection, there is this fear that they have it, and they are moving into it very, very slowly. I feel like it's important for you to give them the space that they need and to give yourself the space you need, especially if you're also dealing with patterns of people who have violated your boundaries in the past or people who have not respected your boundaries. I still feel like there's some healing that needs to go on before this is going to be allowed to manifest or before this is going to be allowed to continue. There's going to be blockages that you're coming into this person. With all relationships, it's always a mirror. They're always going to be reflecting back at you your wounds and things that need to be resolved. So whatever is coming up for you, whatever sort of abandonment issues are coming up in this dynamic, it's really important that you just sit with that and understand that this is reflecting to you something from your past, from your childhood. Because I don't necessarily feel like this person is uninterested. It just seems like now is not the time. There's just timing is not right for them. I do have for their energy, there is shark. They are kind of also circling around you. They are kind of feeling out the situation. I keep getting this image of the fin circling around water, so or circling around a boat. They are trying to feel out a situation before they go in for the kill. And I think you kind of have to let them come to you. If you're putting too much energy or too much pressure on them, it's going to push them away. You have to let them move at their own pace. This is someone who's also very intuitive themselves. They do have a good read on the situation, and I think they want someone who's very intuitive. And it does feel like you're both showing up as water animals here, so it does feel like there is a very strong emotional connection right now. But I do feel like there is this looming sense. There is something that needs to be talked about. There is something that needs to be addressed first. There is kind of this sense of danger for them, and there's something that they need to be honest about in their own life or with you before they can proceed. I do have for the overall energy here the crow, which tells me intuition is very strong. Again, this is kind of confirming this intuitive connection that you have with this person. You might be dreaming of each other, you might be having some sort of telepathic connection, or just you'll be thinking about that person and they'll text you, or vice versa. It just seems like there's a very strong mental connection, telepathic link between the two of you. I am seeing that meditation is something that's very important. Really, one isn't. When isn't it? But especially now, I do feel like it's very important for you to tap into your own magic. And there's so many different ways to meditate. It doesn't necessarily just have to be even sitting in quiet. There are walking meditations. There's different types of meditations. You can Google those, and you can even do guided meditations. I just feel like there's some sort of need to focus the mind, to refine the mind. I feel like there's a lot of you who are really going through this intense intuitive awakening as well, especially with this octopus. Your tentacles are reaching out into new levels of consciousness, and I feel like it might be a bit overwhelming to this person, to be very honest. And it actually, I think, is overwhelming to you. And it's going to require you healing some of these things before you continue. I do see with Crow that there is also a need to listen to messages that are coming from the other side, as well as your friends, because I do think of the murder of crows, the flock of crows. And these are people who are like-minded. These are people who aren't going to shun you for your darkness. They're going to embrace your magic. They're going to help you work with this intuition. And I feel like overall that's going to be very helpful for you in making the right course of action in a relationship. Um, I do see, however, most of all, you need to trust your own intuition. Your intuition is very, very strong right now. So really honor whatever it is that's coming up for you. Um, those are all the messages I am getting for you right now. I do hope that this was helpful, Capricorn. Definitely let me know in the comments down below how you liked this reading, if there's something you think I should add. And definitely hit like and subscribe again so that way we can get to that giveaway. And if you're interested in a personal reading or a distance session, you can find all of my information down below. Otherwise, I will see you next time. Bye, Capricorn.